If there's something about Darth Maul that the Clone Wars has definitely showed us, is that he inadvertently might have started the first actual rebellion against Palpatine, and it even predates the Empire. Let's start with The Phantom Menace. In that film, Darth Maul is shown to be the prime apprentice of Darth Sidious. In later comics, Sidious would show remorse about Maul's supposed death back then. You see, from what we know in canon right now, Maul was supposed to be Darth Vader. He was supposed to be by Sidious's side until Order 66 was to be executed, and then it was Palpatine and Maul together to rule the galaxy as master and apprentice. Now, it bears mentioning, even if Maul survived, Palpatine might have pitted Maul and Anakin versus one another, similar to how he did with Dooku as well, to see who would ultimately become his apprentice. But throwing that aside, from what we know after The Phantom Menace, Maul survived, as it is shown in the Clone Wars series. He not only survives, but he comes to prominence. He feels cast aside with no true purpose in the galaxy now that he is not Sidious's apprentice anymore. Maul initially goes out for revenge against the Jedi who defeated him, and he became obsessed with Obi-Wan Kenobi. But it wasn't long until Maul reverted back to Sidious's tactics. You see, Maul was very well versed with the mindset of how Sidious thought as well, pragmatic and ruthless. He quickly started gaining power within the galaxy as well, but in a fringe kind of way. He assembled and connected the largest criminal conglomerate that the galaxy had ever seen. Maul started uniting the Pikes, the Black Sun, the Hutts, and now a Death Watch of his own to come together as the Shadow Collective, who were later renamed as the Crimson Dawn, from what the Solo movie told us. And so this leads us to the famous Darth Maul Savage Opress versus Darth Sidious duel in the Clone Wars series. You see, it was around this time that Sidious started realizing the threat that Maul had become. If Maul continued to grow in power in the shadows, in the end, it would pose a problem for Palpatine, and so he went to take care of this himself. Palpatine was a superior Force user and duelist to both of the Zabrak brothers, and so he not only killed Savage Opress, but he took Maul as a prisoner. Now, the comics show what happened afterwards. Maul escapes his prison with the help of Gar Saxon and the Shadow Collective, and later it is shown to be another ruse by Palpatine for the Shadow Collective and Maul to lead them to their secret base, where now General Grievous and Palpatine would demolish every power that Darth Maul possessed, striking them to the core. This, of course, did not stop Maul. As we see in the newest Clone Wars series, Maul is still very much in charge. What he tells Ahsoka, though, is his ultimate plan in the Phantom Apprentice episode, telling her about Darth Sidious's desire to turn her master Anakin Skywalker into a Sith Lord, an apprentice now to replace Count Dooku, and together Anakin Skywalker and Sidious would rule the galaxy. This was Maul's secret plan, to lure in Obi-Wan and Anakin together on Mandalore and reveal to Obi-Wan Sidious's plan. This might not have been as crazy as you think, because Obi-Wan knew perfectly well who Sidious was, as Count Dooku told him in Attack of the Clones. Whatever would have happened with that, it simply did not occur, since Ahsoka came instead of Obi-Wan and Anakin to Mandalore, and now Maul had to shift his plans. He extended a hand in partnership to none other than Ahsoka Tano, pleading with her to join Maul, and together they will kill Sidious and stop the Sith from ever ruling the galaxy, therefore stopping the Empire before it could ever be born. And thus I present to you the first noble ideals of the Rebel Alliance. You could say the first rebellion was prematurely started by Maul without him even realizing it. Now, unfortunately, as we would have loved to see that, Ahsoka did accept the partnership with Maul at first, until she learned that Maul wanted to kill Anakin, telling Ahsoka that Anakin would turn to the dark side, a thing that Ahsoka did not believe for a second. This is where their partnership ended before it could start, but if possibly, Ahsoka Ahsoka would have joined Maul, and them all together with the Shadow Collective would attack Sidious straight on, you could say that this would have been a glorious rebellion to an empire and an emperor that was yet to come. Sadly, it never materialized, and it is something that will be left in the imagination of the Star Wars fans. Talk to me down below. What would you guys think of a Maul rebellion? Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you until then.